trying to learn how to vlog, more like Kasey from Camera Conspiracies. I do okay when I'm sitting in front of my camera in my home, but whenever I'm out and about, I can never figure out exactly what to say. It's been a major dream of mine to be a vlogger ever since I watched Kasey from Camera Conspiracies vlog on the gritty streets of Toronto.
Hello. That would have been a good opportunity to try the animal eye detect, but I didn't want the alcoholic to come out of the liquor store, me film his dog, and then he has a reason to drink and punch me, so no reason for that.
For the past couple of years, I've tried vlogging several times with many different cameras, and I always get a sense of panic that washes over me. My tongue seems to become frozen and I can't think of anything to say. Hi, this is April. We're here at Port Huron. I'm trying to practice vlogging. I never really script out my videos in general, but for some reason, whenever I'm outside, I can never think of what to say. In hopes of overcoming my camera shyness in public, I did watch some videos by Nick Nimmin, and he had some pretty helpful tips.
The very first thing is to record your videos in clips, because if you record your videos in clips, kind of like I'm doing throughout this, you don't have to stay there for a long period of time and have people looking at you for the entire time. So you can just record it, hit it, get it, go. Doing it that way can also help you organize clips when you're putting your projects together, especially if you're doing like travel vlogs or just day-to-day life vlogs and you're not giving tips like I am. It can really make a difference in being able to keep everything organized so that it makes your work easier.
I tried his advice of doing one short clip at a time. It definitely seemed to help. Yesterday it was nearly 60 degrees. Spring was in the air. Today I woke up and it was only 16 degrees. Winter is still here. Now, filming in small clips is helpful, but what if you can't remember what you were supposed to be talking about? I have found if I use the Notes app on my iPhone, I can at least put some bullet points in there. Instead of trying to say things off the cuff, I might make a note with some bullet points on my phone that I can refer to. As much as I'd love to speak to the camera naturally and fluidly when I'm out on location, sometimes I just can't do it. So I end up filming some walking footage and then I do a voiceover when I get home. I learned this technique from watching an employee rights attorney named Regina Molden here on YouTube.
Today, I want to tell you about something that you may or may not already know, and that is your friendly boss is not your friend.
I tried out this technique when I was filming in Amherstburg in Ontario, Canada. We ended up visiting Fort Malden, which I didn't know it at the time, but it was a British stronghold during the War of 1812. Sir Isaac Brock met with Tecumseh to try to plan the siege of Detroit. This is a visitor center. I really love the architecture on this building. And back there is a military pensioner's cottage, that small white building. I'd love to see inside. And then we decided to check out a little bit more of the town of Amherstburg. It was really quaint. I loved the architecture and I couldn't help taking a few photos. Lost and the GPS wouldn't work for a minute. We said our prayers. Guess what? They have Skittles in Canada. Finally got an internet connection and found our way back to Windsor. Being lost in a foreign country is not fun. Camera size definitely makes a difference in your comfort level in vlogging in public. When I first started vlogging, I was using the Lumix G95, and then I moved on to the Lumix G9, and when I tried to hold it out in front of me, I did feel like I was on display. When I was trying to vlog at the entrance of the Henry Ford Museum, I was using my Lumix G9, and I was so flustered by the crowd around me that I couldn't get my sentence out. Hi, this is April. We're here at the Henry Ford in Dearborn, Michigan. I hope you enjoy the adventure. At the Lumix G100, which is so much smaller, I did feel much more comfortable vlogging in public. I'll never forget this memory of filming migrating Canadian geese at the nature park. At the time, it felt absolutely magical. I don't know if you can hear all of the geese migrating south for the winter. Look at them. This is so cool. I used to think feeling embarrassment over filming yourself in public was a personal character flaw, and then I was relieved to discover that Emily from Micro 4 Nerds feels the same exact way. When she got the Osmo Pocket 3, it made her feel more comfortable to vlog in public.
One thing you may not know about me is I bloomin' hate traditional vlogging in public. You know, like when you've got the big camera and the big fluffy microphone and the gimbal and, you know, you sort of Kasey Neistatting around the place, and I just feel like, all right, weirdo. But with the Pocket, for whatever reason, because it's small, because maybe it looks a little bit less intimidating to myself and others, I just wanted it to be like a video-centric everyday carry. So I've got things like my GX8 for photography. You know I love a tiny camera, but they're not great for video. So I wanted something that could be my everyday carry for video that I would actually bloomin' use, because sometimes when I have massive cameras with me, like I've got a G9 Mark II out today, but the idea of walking around doing this with a G9 Mark II mortifies me. But this seems perfectly fine. And there's people here.
So I decided I should try one out too. And it changed everything. Instead of having people stare at me when I pulled out my camera, people didn't even seem to notice it. I noticed when I took the Osmo Pocket 3 aboard a museum ship called the Colonel James M. Schoonmaker in Toledo, Ohio. I noticed I felt so much more at ease when I was navigating the decks with the other visitors. Instead of trying to hold out a bulky camera in front of me, I just had a nice, slender little stick in my hand. Hi, this is April. Welcome back to my channel. Today we're here at the National Museum of the Great Lakes in Toledo, Ohio. I hope you enjoy this little adventure. Another piece of advice from Nick Nimmin is that no one really cares what you're doing when you're vlogging.
Most people, they don't care. Like, it's usually us that has the biggest problem with all of this. When we're going around, we're like, oh, what are people going to think about me? But people are out doing their own thing. If they're outside, they're trying to enjoy whatever it is that they're doing outside. They're not really caring about all of the people that are doing stuff around them unless it's actually bothering them in some way. But in most cases, as long as you're not getting people on camera, nobody's really going to care.
If I can somehow convince myself that that's true, I think I can overcome my anxiety when it comes to filming myself in public. Besides fear stopping me from speaking naturally to the camera, sometimes it gets so cold here in Michigan that my mouth actually really does become frozen. Hi, this is April. Welcome back to my channel. Today I am taking out the Sigma 100 to 400 millimeter lens on the Sony a7 IV. I want to see if 400 millimeters is enough reach to be able to take pictures of seagulls. It is super windy and it's only in the 20s, so I don't know how long I can stay out here without freezing. You know, it might be time to stop vlogging when your fingers are too numb to feel your Osmo Pocket 3 in your hand. One of my favorite tips that Nick Nimmin gave was vlogging in a less crowded area, off the beaten path. I have found that I do my best vlogging in a deserted nature park in the middle of the pouring rain. Sometimes when it's cold and gray out like this, there's not too many people out. So you get to be alone with your thoughts. And you get to concentrate on your photography. There's nothing that I love more than that. Did you ever notice how the weather app lies to you? It says it's not supposed to rain. And it never fails. It always rains when the weather app says it's going to be clear or cloudy. I've come to the realization that speaking naturally to a camera in public is a talent. And it may be a talent that I wasn't born with, but it doesn't mean that I can't get better at it with a little practice. The whole reason I wanted to vlog in the first place is so I could bring people along on a fun and entertaining adventure. And I shouldn't let my shyness stop me.
If you like this video, give it a like. Consider subscribing for more camera-related content from a newbie like me. God bless.